Good afternoon, good evening, and for some of you, good morning. It is me, Kizzy B, with Speak Life Live. We're always grateful to have you here. Thank you for joining us on tonight. It's Speak Life Live meets Dr. Amy Rucker. How are you, Dr. Amy?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. We love having you here. Dr. Amy is a phenomenal strategist, business strategist, woman of God. I mean, you just have so many amazing things going on. So, of course, we had to capture the opportunity to get to speak with you live and share this information with our audience tonight. Listen, y'all, get ready. I need y'all to do me a favor. You know how we do in Speak Life, of course. Tag a friend, share a few to a few of your platforms, bring them on in as we come in. And I'm telling you, get ready. Dr. Amy is loaded. When I tell y'all loaded with a wealth of information and things that will help push you to your next, we have several things we're going to talk about tonight. So I want y'all to have a pen, a pad ready. If you have questions, go ahead and put it in the comments. You know how we do. We are Speak Life Live, and we like to enhance your life with whatever the kingdom of God is telling us to speak on this night. So just get ready. And I love Dr. Amy. You know what she said? She said anything goes. So she might even begin to tell you some strategy. Dr. Amy, I'm gonna just have to tell them because I don't think they understand. Anytime Dr. Amy opened her mouth, y'all better have pen, pad, and some a recorder or something because it's you know what's in you, Dr. Amy, literally just comes out. You are forever giving strategies. I heard you on Clubhouse one day, and it was funny, y'all, because I was sitting there like, man, I don't know how to do this. And immediately she just starts speaking, do this, do that. Not towards me, it was towards the general audience. But what it is sometimes you have to be in the present. Things are better caught than taught. And I literally heard it and I said, oh, that's for me. And I wrote it down. And what I'll tell you is anything that I've received from Dr. Amy, it was added, value added. So I met Dr. Amy, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. It was at a conference with Jackie Fleming. It
Okay.
was her conference. I'm trying to remember the name of the conference because I don't
It
remember
was
the
called Level Up, that one. I remember
level. That's exactly right. Level up. So when I first met her, like no kidding, I still have all your video clips. I was like, this lady is so dynamic. That was the first impression. I'm like, man, she's dynamic. You on the stage, shoes off, and I'm talking about the oil was flowing, the anointing, y'all. It was so powerful. And then God just arranged we went to the restaurant after the conference, my friends and I, and look who walks in. It was Dr. Amy. And when I tell y'all just as down to earth, you know, because sometimes on the stage, there's one personality, and in person, it may be different. You were exactly the same. I don't know if you remember that. I
Oh,
told my
I
daughters this.
do.
I said she gave me a hug, and I felt like it was the warmest, most friendliest hug ever.
Listen, I love God's people. I truly do. And it's actually sometimes surprising to people that I'll stay for the whole conference. I'll be amongst the people. You'll see me talking and just fellowshipping with the people of God. And so I love it. And I do remember you guys. I think you guys were sitting in a certain area. You had your luggage and you're getting ready to go. And I was like, just sat and made sure I talked to you all. And so I love it.
You know, I love it too because that's the truth. You made us all feel warm and welcome. You know, and it was just something when I saw that. And look, this was before I even knew about a Clubhouse. I didn't know.
Right.
This is way before I knew about Clubhouse. But when I met you on Clubhouse, it was like, okay, that same energy, that same dynamic teaching translated over. And so I'm like, oh yeah, she's the real deal. You know, when you're around people, you know if they're real or not. So I just
Right.
I just wanted to say that real quickly. Now, listen, y'all, we got to get these views up. I know it's Thursday. Now, Dr. Amy, where are you located? You're not in our time
I'm
zone.
in Las Vegas. I'm trying to find it on my page too. I don't see the video. I'm trying to see. Maybe you could tag me. Oh, I see it. I see it now. Yes. Okay. Definitely
Very
got to get
good.
the views up. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. So I'm tag. Look, y'all know I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm tagging, sharing. I'm getting y'all in here because y'all get ready. This is going to be one of those meetings. It's not just a conversation. You will learn. You will leave here with some value added to you. So tonight, I just want you all to share. I'm going to tag a few people in. Dr. Amy, I have a video I want to show them. Now, we're not going to dive into that video yet, but this is just my introduction to the great Dr. Amy, who just wrote a very amazing devotional. I didn't want to call it a journal. This is a literal devotional. So, y'all listen to this for just one moment.
Let me share something with you. Growth will always require a goodbye. Goodbye to your comfort zone. Goodbye to codependency. Goodbye to playing it small. Goodbye to carrying stuff that do not belong or is not yours to carry. We say we want growth. We pray to God for elevation. We even ask for God to enlarge our territories, but we refuse to release what's in our hand. You can't receive new strategies while clinging and clutching onto old systems. You can't walk fully into your purpose while still holding on to a bunch of past pain. Growth requires space. And listen, if you know you've been created for more, if you know you've been secretly suffering in silence, waiting to be picked while sitting on the sidelines, then I have something for you. Grab my new book, Ready, Set, Grow. Listen, a 31-day devotional, but this ain't no regular devotional. This is a divine disruption. Baby, this is your prophetic push. This is what you need. This is the number one devotional in 2025 for women. Grab yours. Yes.
Listen. Look, just the whole fact of the way that you did that video. I'm like, wait, I need to learn more about this devotional. And thank you so much for again just sharing your gifts, the God that God has put inside of you, that you share them with so many people. So without delay, look, we got a few people in here, we got a few comments, and we're going to continue to share and grow the audience. But I don't want to delay or prolong this any longer. Dr. Amy Rucker, thank you again for being here. And
Thank you
if
for
you don't
having
mind,
me.
absolutely, absolutely. If you don't mind, just letting us know just a little bit about how did you become who you are today, Dr. Amy?
I mean, whoa, that's a loaded question. I think who we are becoming, we're still becoming, right? I haven't even seen the best version of myself yet. But how did I become? First of all, by the hand of God. Um, it is nothing but his grace, his mercy that has brought us through trials, tribulations, ups and downs. And so heartaches and heartbreaks and all of the things makes us who we are. So when you're talking about how did I become who I am, staying consistent and refusing to let people lids, labels, and limitations define me. That's it. I refuse to let people lids, limits, and labels and limitations define who I am. I believe God concerning Amy Rucker, and so everything else is just making a decision and a choice. You want to go to school, you pursue it and you finish it. You want to get degrees, you want to start businesses, you want to be a speaker, you want to be whatever it is that you're called to be. Those are choices that you make, and hopefully God backs them. Now, becoming a pastor and a preacher, I didn't ask for that. That came solely. I was handpicked and hand selected by God for that endeavor. I didn't choose it. I didn't wake up and be like, I want to be a pastor. I want to be a preacher today. That was not. I was a businesswoman. So yeah. So just refusing to live by people's lids, labels, and limitations is how I became who I am in the grace of God. That, I mean, I don't think there's no other ingredients that I could probably give you.
No, Dr. Amy, those are like when you start talking, I'm like, okay, she already gave y'all a whole strategy of building block to help break someone out of a cycle. Because number one, you said we're still becoming. I think that's so powerful. I don't think any of us have arrived. And if you have arrived, you're probably about to exit stage left off earth because God is always redefining who we are as his purpose. So I love that you said that we're still becoming. And
I
you
think
also said, yeah, you haven't even seen the
right
best.
now.
And I'm sitting here like, wait, we haven't seen the best of you yet, girl. What's next? What's next? You get a little excited when you hear that.
Listen, I remember writing a prayer apologizing to God because if I would have obeyed some things he told me to do, I would be a lot further than I am now. We would be a lot better. We would have limited some of the breakdowns and the heartbreaks had we obeyed God a lot sooner. And so now to totally give God, yo, yes, that's the season that I am. I'm like, okay, God, I get like imposter syndrome women struggle with, not speaking when he give you a word for somebody because you're afraid that, God, am I hearing you? God, is this you? Ideas that come to your mind that he gives you, and you don't run with it, and you allow the enemy to kill the momentum. There is so many things you could be a lot further had you just obeyed. So in this season, for somebody that is watching, let this be your season that you have rapid obedience.
I gotta digest. Yeah, we're only 5 minutes in this, and I gotta digest that one right there. Dave, I gotta digest that one because you really did say a lot, and I know the audience, even if they're watching the replay, they can resonate with what you said. Sometimes we like to live in the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and I agree with you, especially with those dynamics of what the world usually tries to pronounce upon us, what we can't do, the limits, the lids, the what was the third one? The limits, the lids, and the
The limits,
labels.
the lids, and the labels.
Labels, yeah, yeah. The world likes to do that
Or
to
they'll
us.
put a label on you. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's a prophet. Oh, she's just this. Because what they'll do is when they label you as something, they can confine your oil. They can try to limit your capacity by how they label you. Baby, don't put restraints on me because you never know what'll happen in the like, don't put your limits or your labels on me because the moment I label you, now I can confine your capacity of what I think you are and who I think you are.
Then hear that? When they put the label on us, Dr. Amy, that's just like that little saying about the what is it, the jumping bean, the grasshopper, and you train it. You
Yes,
literally train it to hit that lid, and once the lid removed, it
it
don't go
won't
any
jump
higher.
as high as it really could. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all get on in here. Come on. I see my friend Monique here. I see my sister Chanel here. I see y'all are coming in. Let Dr. Amy know you're here. She is already starting off the bat with such great information. I'm telling y'all better write this down, get the nuggets, get the information. Dr. Amy, I want to cycle back to something because you said two very important things when I asked you about how you became who you are. And one thing you said is your personality, who you are as a business person. However, God called you and you said, wait, I didn't sign up for that part. So how did those two merge?
um at the time when God called me to preach, I was already helping women. I was in the process of, I had a personal growth and development company, and I had an organization called the Leading Ladies. And I had a mentor group for young girls that the Leading Ladies would mentor the younger generation, and it was called Sister to Sister. And I was serving in the church already, but I was not a preacher or a pastor. I began to have this dream. And for 2 years, I had this dream of me speaking on a stage, and it was like, preach, evangelist, preach, evangelist, preach. And I'm like, and so I went to the pastor and I said, hey, I keep having this dream. He gave me the 24 qualifications of a pastor. 2 years, and watch this, 2 years later, I'm still sitting on the gift. And it took me actually getting pregnant. My mess actually became my greatest message. And it took them stripping me of every title, every position for me to fully walk into and be propelled into the calling. And it didn't happen right away. I sat down. God said, listen. And when they stripped me of everything, God said this: if you sit here and you take this ridicule and you take this embarrassment and you take this one on the chin, I'll give you a title no man can take from you again. I was, at the time when they stripped me, I was the regional president for their convention, which is huge. That means I'd oversee many delegates, like many states. I probably oversee 16 states. And so they stripped me of that. They stripped me of teaching Sunday school. I grew this Sunday school from 2 people to about 25, that like young adults. The ministers would come into the classroom to hear how God was utilizing me. And God was like, look, just sit. go through this. He had already told me, he said, they're going to sit you down. Okay, go through it. But when you go through it, I'm going to anoint you like never before. And I'm going to give you a title no man will ever be able to take. And God told me when he first projected me into ministry, he said, no one will get credit for you. Because one thing that people love to do is they love to have a credit in your success. Not to say that we can't do things with, we do need community and we do need people. But sometimes people want to be the sole, I guess, source of how you became successful and not God.
That's something they want to point everything back to them as if they had the hand. You know, that's almost like a little controlling and dictating type of behavior. And I'm gonna pull myself out of that statement because I know that could be a pain point for some people out here. You know, Dr. Amy, they label it as church hurt, and they put a lot of labels.
No, I didn't qualify that. I didn't think.
Come on.
That doesn't even come in my mind. Church hurt.
And you know why it's so beautiful? Because what did you say? God already told you. He warned you. And he said, now you're going to come out of this and I will make your name great. That is all scripture. That's all the God's word. He is the one who puts the name on you. If any title anyone ever want, Dr. Amy, this is something I tell people, you can keep your titles because that can come with a lot of baggage. But when God calls you, that's what you want. You want to be where he calls you to be. So I love that you walk that path with him. Monique said, my mess, that's good. My mess became my greatest message. That was good because sometimes we may think it's the end all. You said it was one thing that happened that the people looked at you and tried to strip you, but God qualified you. I say this statement, I'm sure you heard this before. He never calls the qualified, but he will qualify the called.
Yeah. But we have to do our part, right? And for some reason, we do believe that if God called us to do it, that he's going to do all the work. That's not true. That is a very unhealthy idea of how God will navigate you. He still requires your yes. He still requires you to be a living sacrifice. He still requires you to get up, Jeremiah, and go. He said, go to the potter house and watch this. He said, and there I will talk to you. Some people can't even hear God in this season because they have not moved yet. And he ain't speaking where you're planted currently. He is speaking where he told you to go. And so, God will do his part, but you have to do your part. You have to show up. When he tell you arise, that means you got to get up. When he say when he called Samuel, he called Samuel 4 times. He said the first time, and then Samuel said he went to Eli. He said, Eli, did you call me? He said, no, go back to bed. He went to him again. Eli, did you call me? He said, no, go back to bed. He said, Eli, did you call me? He said, no, go back to bed. He said, okay. And so Eli recognized, wait, that's God calling you. So Samuel still had to say, yes, Lord, your servant is listening. Here I am. So you got to remember, just because God gives you to do doesn't mean he's going to do it for you. He said, I have given you the ability to create wealth. I have given you the ability. Why do you think he said, be encouraged 365 times in the Bible? Because he knew you was going to be discouraged every day, and the enemy was going to try to knock you off every day, and the enemy was going to try to discredit you every day, and the enemy was going to try to do something to stop you from reaching your destiny. Why do you think Jesus told you this? Hey, get behind me. Hey, because that wasn't a part of the plan. You got to stay focused on the plan. So if God is giving you something to do, make sure you do it. And while we're in that vein, let me say this. I want you guys to imagine this, picture this. I said something about ideas, so God will give you something to do. The Bible says it like this, that the sower will plant seeds. And it says immediately the enemy will come and take the seed. So between idea and implementation, somewhere along the line, the enemy comes and intercepts it. Who is the enemy who is the enemy using? He has to use a vessel. Did you tell it to the wrong person? Did you show it to the wrong eyes? Did you tell it to small-minded people because they can't handle the capacity of what you carry? What happened in the process? Who intercepted it? Who did you let in your ear gates? What did you watch with your eye gates? What thoughts did you allow to creep in and intercept the idea so the idea can't become implementation? So I need y'all to know that between idea and implementation, there's always interception, interference, and interruption. Because it said the enemy comes immediately to take the very thing. You pray for what? Watch this. Some of us pray for money. We pray for economical increase. We prayed for ideas. We prayed for wealth strategies. And God will give you idea. An idea is a seed. He will give you something and you will be excited about it. And you go tell it to the wrong person. They kill your momentum. You just allowed those people to intercept the very thing God just gave you. If I promise you, I've seen some ideas that God gave me years ago, and then people making billions of dollars over ideas God gave me years ago. So I'll stop right there. I hope this is helping somebody.
Dr. Amy, I'm literally sitting here like, usually I'm the one who's like on the interview side. I feel like I'm the one you preaching to right now, because every word you just spoke, I resonate with it so well. Just because I'm a creator, just a business strategist mind, always creating, like you said, the seed that God gives us, and we want to implement them. However, sometimes when we release it too soon, exactly what you just said, the enemy, the word of God tells you, as soon as that seed is planted, the enemy comes. And he said, the devil comes, Satan himself, shoop, and try to,
And watch this, if you still hold on to it, there's stages to the seed. He'll try to choke it out you. That it says it'll choke it out you. He'll come swoop it up. And then when if you allow it to get through all of that and you finally plant it, it said then you can have some 30, some 60, some 100 fold. Like the heart, but you just gotta navigate. What idea have God given you in this season? I need you to go revisit that idea. I need you to go pick that up. You're not on this call by accident. You're not on here by happenstance. You're on here because God needed you to hear this word. I gave you something, and the earth needs what I gave you. I'm going to go off camera real quick because I need to go grab my charger before this hang up.
Listen, yo, this is so good. I knew it was going to be. I was trying to get as many people on before we got started, because when Dr. Amy starts, she goes right in because what's in her flows out. So look, while we got a quick pause, thank you, Monique, for tagging in. For everyone else, if you can tag in a few people, share it on your page. This is such good wealth of information to help push you to your next. The strategies are flowing already as I'm listening. God is also, Dr. Amy, he's also given us a gentle reminder that if I called you to it, I'm going to see you through it, but you have to do the work. You have to put your efforts in. And whenever it does get a little challenging, because it has been, I think you said over 300 times, he said, be encouraged. Be encouraged. I'm going to be right there with you. Be encouraged. So what is some of your, for those of them who are just coming in, what are some of your key elements or strategies that you use on a daily basis? I know of course, everything's anchored in the word of God, but what is some of those little key nuggets that you use on a daily?
To accumulate success, or which way you will
to accumulate success, and just just to be obedient to what God tells us. Just a simple obedience.
Obedience comes with trust, and it comes with relationship. When you don't got a relationship with somebody, you don't trust them. And I've seen God work too many times, and the outcome prevails for me not to trust him. For me, there is no plan A, B, and C. Either it's God or it's God. Like that's plan A, B, C, and D. So some strategies in order to obey God is to first understand if what you're hearing is from God. Because you have to drown out all the noise. You got to drown out the internet. You got to drown out your thoughts. You got to drown out the thoughts of the enemy. And you have to see, is this God for me to obey? How do you know if it's God? You go to his word and see what his word say concerning the thing that you're having the thought about. And so if it's God, now you need to ask God, okay, God, do you want me to move on this? Do you want me to pray about this? Or you want me to put this away? I'm going to say that again. Am I moving on this? Am I praying about this? Or am I tucking it away for a later time? Everything God give you ain't for now. There are some things that are happening later. There are some things that you need to do immediately. And then there are some things that you need to pray about because it might not be for you at all. It could be for somebody else. There are some people building your stage right now, and it's already being set for you to get ready to come. How you know that's biblical? Ask David. There is already a scene being set for you to show up. There are people in your positions right now. King Saul was in David's position. He was already anointed the king. So there are spaces and places that God has already provided, but you actually go to shameless plug. You actually have to grow. Like so I hope that answered the question on how do you learn to obey God. First, identify if it's God, then see what God needs you to do with what it is that he is showing you. Those would be the top two. And then I said it earlier, have rapid obedience. When he gives you something to do, stop delaying, stop hasting. Do what it is that he has called you to do, even when you don't know the next step, even when you don't got all the pieces, even when you don't got all the players, and even when you don't got all the plans. That was 3 P's. You might not have all the pieces, you might not have all the players, and you might not have all the plans, but you still need to be moving. I hope somebody write that down. I might not have all the pieces. I may not have all the players, meaning the people that's going to help you move this vision forward, and I may not have all the plans. And if you want to throw an extra P, you may not have all the paper, meaning the money.
Dr. Amy, I'm typing as fast as I can. Maybe I can get someone else to help me out here.
Yeah, let's get a scribe. Do me a favor. If somebody is willing to be a scribe, that you'll sit in here and listen for a few minutes. If you can quiet your spirit enough to sit down for the next 10 minutes as we talk, and you'll type the notes for her so she can focus on the interview with me, I'll give you a free book. You can send me, you will inbox me your address. I'll give you a free book. And so that's the least I can do for you being here with me as well.
Oh, thank you so much. Yo, did y'all hear that? Thank you. Somebody, come on. I know at least 2 or 3 of you love to type. I got pieces, players, plans, and we added paper. But I need you to put in front of that, you said you may not have all that, but you still need immediate obedience. That's what I was typing. Is that correct? Did I capture it right?
You captured it.
Oh, Monique says she's going to scribe. Monique, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Absolutely. Monique, I'll send you a book, love.
Come on, Monique. Thank you so very much. So pieces, players, plans, paper. Now, Monique, you're going to have to summarize that for me because if you don't have those pieces, players, plans, and paper, you still need to be obedient. Now, you may have to say it again, Dr. Amy.
No, you said it. Listen, God will give you things to do that you're not going to have all the pieces. You're not going to have all the players. You might not understand all the plans, and you may not have all the paper, meaning the money, but you still need to move forward. What is the step that you can do today to get that vision moving? Like if you wanted to start a business, you could start by researching, but do something every day towards the theme. I need you guys to write this down for the rest of the year. I need you to only do income producing activities. So if it is not adding value to your life or it is not producing income, then it is irrelevant for your time. It's just irrelevant. And we're at such a critical time in this world that we can't just be going everywhere. We can't do everything. We can't watch everything. We can't hang with everybody. We have to get to a place where we quiet our spirit and we need to focus on the things that God has for us to do with urgency. This is a clarion call to the people of God that we have to move expeditiously. Those books need to be released. Those business needs to be birthed. Those storehouses need to be filled. There are things that need to happen because what's coming down this pipeline with the economical shifts that get ready to happen in this nation, the people of God need to prepare themselves and we need to plan accordingly. We need your skill set. We need your ideas and we need you to donate that gift back to God.
I'm going to pause.
IPAs, income producing activities.
I like the IPA. You said donate that gift back to God. So God never intended for all those gifts to be about me, myself, and I. Is that correct?
No, not at all. Any gift that God gave it's you either called to a person or you called to a people, right? And so it's like Aaron. Aaron's gift was to help Moses. So he was called to a person. But Moses' gift was to help the people of the children of Israel. So he was called to a people. You have to identify where your gift is supposed to be planted, and you need to utilize it to the greatest capacity. But Aaron wasn't just called to any person. He was called to a leader of leaders. So you might not, so watch this. So never get caught up in comparison, right? Because somebody might look like they're called to the masses, but you called to the person that leads the masses, which makes you great too. Like we get so caught up on, oh, he led 2 million. Well, you helped him lead the 2 million. So you still have a part in God's plan. You just have to know where you need to be planted so that you can utilize it. But your gift is never just for you.
I love that, Dr. Amy. I love that so much. Hey, Fabian, it's so good to see you, brother. I love that so much. So it's the quality, not the quantity, that our eyes should be focused on. Because, just in the culture that we're in, Dr. Amy, you already know it. How many likes you have, how many followers you have, how many people are just so inundated about all the masses, but they forget about the quality of what they're actually doing.
Right.
The purpose, I should say, of what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So if someone was just coming in here, because I have a sense that some people are coming in and they still are trying to figure it out. My brother Fabian, they're still trying to figure it out. What would you say to them they hear what you're saying, but they just don't know how to put the pieces together?
That's a loaded question, because I would have to really see which angle that they're coming from. What are you trying to put together? Is it marketplace? Is it ministry? Because those are two different lanes. So if you want to narrow the question down, maybe do you want to talk marketplace if they coming in and they want to know what to do?
You know what? How about this? If anyone in the audience would have a question, because I sense it was in the audience, like, we're talking good, but how do I put the first foot forward? Well, here you go. Here's your opportunity. Put the question in the chat and I'll pull it up. In the meanwhile, while they're doing that, Dr. Amy, tell them a little bit about the services that you actually do. Because again, Dr. Amy has business and kingdom. I call you a kingdom strategist or a kingdom solutionist. I love that. And, everything that you've done actually proves to that. I love that you're so multi-dynamic. You have different areas that you can actually lean towards. Multifaceted. Yeah, you can lean towards different areas, and not just in marketplace, but also with ministry, also with personal self-care and, just small businesses, large businesses, whatever, corporations. You have that gift that God placed inside of you. And I love the fact we mentioned that earlier. We said, and I hope that those who are just coming in hear this. Everything God put inside of you needs to come out. That's the seed that you need. Dr.
Listen,
Amy
die empty. Write that down. Die empty. The wealthiest place on the planet is not the Federal Reserve. It is not a Wall Street. It is the graveyard. Because God gives us ideas. He gives us strategies. He gives us patents. He gives us concepts. He gives us manuscripts. He gives us manuals. He gives us databases. He gives us so much stuff, and we do not utilize it, and we die with this stuff on the inside. When I just wrote this book that I released, I actually wrote another book in the process about kingdom finances. And in that book, it's going to teach you how to make your kid a millionaire, how to set up your trust fund, how to set up your economic infrastructure so that you could sustain and go through any storm that this world tries to, because guess what? There is never a recession in the kingdom of heaven. Let me say that again. There's never a recession in the kingdom of heaven. We might be in a recession in the earth realm, but we're never in a recession. Listen, he owns a cattle of 1,000 hills. And so, people got to get to a place where they, buckle down, do what it is that they need to do, what God has called them to do, and really get focused in this season. Please, if you hear nothing else on this call, get focused, get serious, drown out the noise, get away from people that are only takers. Sit at tables of value, sit in rooms that is of value, sit in spaces, take the time. You said the original question you asked me was, what can they do right now? In your free time, you should be growing. Your bank account do not grow unless you do. What can I do? I can take a master class. What can I do? I can tap into YouTube University. What can I do? I can read a book. What can I do? I can log into a webinar. I don't care if it's paid. I don't care if it's free. If you can only start for the free ones, go to the free ones and get what you need to get. Take the nuggets and the lessons that you need. If you need to get on YouTube, go watch some videos. Get you some sound wisdom to listen to. Get you some people that is in the personal growth and development space. Get you some people that are really doing well. I'm not talking about the fake influencers that got fake cars, fake houses that they're renting out for YouTube videos. I'm talking about or for social media content. I'm talking about real people that have a sustainable following that you can see that they're giving out real content, and go sit and listen. Spend a Saturday where you take an hour and you just sit and read and focus. And so that way, when you're building up your reservoir, you add into your tool belt, you add into your toolages, you are adding to your arsenal. You add every day. You're learning different stuff so that you can begin to implement it. So you do what? Die empty. That's what we were talking about, right? So that you can die empty. Then start putting it out. Hey, don't get caught up on numbers. I tell people all the time, I'm so in a place where I'd rather be exclusive than to be grand. Grand, I'm exclusive. No, everybody can't get in this room. Everybody don't come in these spaces. This is for the elite. These are for the... So, let me calm down. You got me...
No. You are right on it,
y'all. She got me too excited. I'm gonna calm down.
You know why I love it? Because many people sit back on this and they're not understanding the urgency that God literally has put out there. He put the urgency out there because we have a window of time, y'all, and that window's going to close up. But we don't want you to miss it. If God put it inside of you, and I love that statement, die empty. It was never intended for you to hold on to it. And as a matter of fact, we don't even have the right to say when we're going to release it. God is the one who put it inside of us. So our obedience, and I love the term immediate obedience, is what he's expecting. So you can get, one of the ladies put it in the chat. She says, so you can get a return on that investment, because God actually is looking. Here it goes. She says, everything God gives you, give him a return on that investment. So yeah, God put it inside of me. Here you go, God. I'm giving it out to produce, like you said, some 60, some 30, some 60, some 100 fold. Now we do have a question here. It's from our brother Fabian.
Okay.
He says, okay, so you feel you called. Okay, so you're called. You have ideas. How do you break out of stagnation, procrastination, and fear? Brother, that's a great question.
So you feel you're called. You have ideas. How do you break out of stagnation, procrastination, and fear? Oh my gosh, that's so loaded. I promise you. In this book, it has all of. I give actually practical steps for each day that people can do according to whatever it is. And so, how to break out of fear? One, you have to identify that spirit did not come from God. So God did not give you the spirit of fear. So our fear is in our own mind, right? False evidence appearing real. It is something that we created an illusion of because we're worried about this person. Again, the reason why we have so much fear is because we believe more about what people will say versus what God has already said. And so when you so basically you're still in fear is because you still let their lids, their labels, and their limitations dictate your atmosphere. And you have to first break from that. The first thing you need to do in order to break free from fear and procrastination and stagnation is one, deliver yourself from people. So stop people pleasing, stop worrying about the opinions of people. The next thing to break stagnation and procrastination, those are really strongholds. Those are considered strongholds, right? Those things first of all, you got to identify the habit and you got to identify when it's happening, and you have to see what's connected to it. What are you feeling when you start to procrastinate? What thoughts have been coming in your mind? Who have you been talking to? Again, because the enemy will plant those seeds too, because you're talking to the wrong people. So in stagnation is because you are so focused on the end result and not taking small doses. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So that means every day I do little things that help the overall picture. So sometimes we get fearful because we see how big the picture is, and then we start thinking about all the stuff we don't have, all the stuff we can't do, and that will stagnate us. So I hope that helps. So first, write down some habits. First of all, identify what's going on. So the thought, when you're starting to feel procrastination, identify it. Like, okay, why do I feel like this? Where's this coming from? Then take the overarching goal, break it down into smaller sections, and do something every day towards the ultimate goal. So that should be broken down into 3 sections, like a few sections. Every day, then monthly, and then the overarching goal, you should be working towards it all the time. Like if the goal is to buy a house, then there's little things that you need to do. You need to be focusing on the credit. You need to be saving money. You need to be doing it. So you got to identify all the steps for the bigger thing and break those down. And don't overwhelm yourself when there's setback. Setback is going to happen. So I hope that answered, because that's a loaded question. That's such a loaded question. But release the first step. If you need to take the first step is stop believing what they said, because if you operating in too much fear, it's because you're still believing what they said over what God said.
And there you have it, folks. Because I mean, every step that you gave, I actually can identify one point in my life I was falling into those snares, into those traps, even to the point, like you said, when a procrastination occurs, who did you last speak to? And I remember, Dr. Amy, I remember this so clear. Fabian, I hope you heard that. I was having a conversation with someone, and the whole time they were, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh that sounds good, girl. And the next voice, I don't know if you can do all that. And they just, even though at the time when they were talking and I shooed it off, they planted a seed. Yeah. And I noticed the delay came, Dr. Amy, the delay came right after that. Like, well, maybe I am thinking a little bit too big. Maybe, that was a seed planted. You called it a stronghold. That was a stronghold planted.
They're strongholds. And we get fearful, right? I just actually dealt with it. Like, I'll give you a real life scenario. I just really dealt with it. So, of course, again, I released a book. Make sure y'all go and check that out. Make sure you go buy that. It's really good, especially for women. So if you men that are watching, you have sisters, you have wives, you have daughters, they need this book. I'm telling you, it's going to break them free, because it deals with all of these spirits y'all talking about. Like, I'll give you guys a few of the title inserts real quick before I go to what I was going to say. It says, girl, get up, silence the noise, look within, no shortcuts. But I'll get to some of the other stuff. It's like, girl, get your priorities straight. Girl, handle your small foxes. Girl, stop people pleasing. So it's really all the different things that I had to deal with to become the woman I am today. And so when we're dealing with situations where fear comes about, now, I wrote the book and I'm launching it and doing different things, right? And so I went to the book Barnes and Nobles. I have a date for a signing party there, and I have a signing party at the Christian bookstore, one of the biggest Christian bookstores in our city. And for some reason, I delayed getting these people the flyer, and this stuff is coming up. And I'm like, what in me is so afraid? And then, like you said, those little thoughts, like, what if nobody comes? Like, oh my gosh, like, another flyer, they're going to think like I'm being arrogant or you're being boastful, but you got to remove that, right? There's people that put little stuff on you all along the way. Stay humble. This, you're arrogant. This, and this. And you've allowed those lids. And so God is like, man, put it out there. And you got to get to a space where if 6 people come, 6 people come. If 3 people come, 3 people come. Those are 3 people that was ready to grow. There was 3 people that was ready to get moving. There was 3 people that rock and support you. And you just be okay with where you are and don't worry about the rest. Let God handle the numbers. He does the increasing.
I was on mute.
Too much.
No. You're perfect. Dr. Amy, I love that. And you know, when you were talking, I have I'm going to insert a small thought. And if you can just either dispel it, dismiss it, or explain it. Because I remember when I was growing my business, I've developed and grown several businesses just the way I'm built. And some of them were successful, some were not. But you know what happened when one of them was extremely successful? This unusual fear, I identified it as the fear of success. But I noticed it came and then it came again. But it was the reverse of the fear of people. It was more so like, what do you do next when this thing grows and blows up? Are you going to lose? It was the fear of success literally had me in a stronghold. Can you explain a little bit more about why would that occur? Most people would want to be successful, right?
Well, that's a real thing, because there's a lot of pressure that comes with being successful. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with being successful. There's a lot of weight that comes with being successful. And if you're starting a business and you begin to pick up employees, now that's somebody else's life that is riding on the lifeline of your business. And it can be scary, it can be hard. And so it is a real struggle. Not everybody fear failing. Some people are afraid of success because the more success come with you, the more light and exposure comes with you. So a lot of that too is cleaning up the backgrounds of your life, that if something, and watch this, operating in transparency. Because when you tell your own story, can't nobody tell it for you. So it doesn't matter, like say the business is having a tough time and you heal through it and you get through some of the storms and you share those storms. Like, man, I remember when my business was going through some stuff, and you learn from those lessons in the process. You'll get over those things, but just know. And that's why to overcome that particular spirit, you need a coach. You need somebody that is at a different level, that they can navigate in terrains that you have not probably trotted.
That I'm so glad you said that. Thank you. Because and Fabian, yes. Two things Dr. Amy said. I need y'all to hold on and hear that, because Dr. Amy, I didn't know that at the time, but you are so right, because I took on so many employees and they came fast. I'm like, I personally felt responsible for each of them. And I'm like, Lord, what happens if they fail? It was just too many thoughts. And then the second thing you said is get someone who has already done it. Get you call them a coach or a mentor or whatever.
Coach or mentor.
Yeah, get somebody who's already been there before you, because now they can help you navigate the way. I'm so grateful you said that. That's good.
Amen. No, and Fabian, you're right. And I said that she asked me a question early on before you got on, is that she's like, who is Amy, Dr. Amy, and how did I get here? And I told her I'm still becoming her. There's a version of me that I see that I haven't even become yet, and she bad. When I say it, there's a mindset shift that is happening. The way she carries herself, what she watches, what she drives, what she wears, what she reads, where does she go? And you have to have that avatar for yourself and be okay with saying, man, like Ford, you might see yourself in a nice suit with a bad car, and you might not see that version of you now, but never lose sight of that version. Like, man, I'm becoming her, where I always show up and I'm on point, I'm polished. You don't always have to be perfect, but you're just that next level of you that don't, and watch this, refuse to go back to a version of you that you've graduated from. Because what happens is people will pull you to a position you've already graduated from, because they fail to see you how you see you. And they will leave you at the last place that they met you. And that's the version of you. It's okay to Jay-Z said it. He said, allow me to reintroduce myself. It's okay to upgrade your prices. It's okay to limit your access. It's okay to cut off people. You are the CEO of your life, and you have to hire and fire accordingly. You have been given the authority to manage your life and your relationships. So therefore, everybody can go where you're going. And there comes a point in time where you can't just take $50 in a chicken dinner when you've already graduated to contracts. And so I'm just saying that to say, and people are going to be mad. Let them be mad, because if they're called to your next level, they'll do what the new requirements are to be in that space.
Fabian, I'm about to throw my phone too. I'm like, can I jump through the screen right quick? Dr. Amy, that was so good. Like, when I tell you, you just set the captives free, because not only just the people pleasing part, but that's false humility part, that dumbing it down part, that I gotta apologize for. We're not doing that in 2025. Come on, Dr. Amy. We're not doing that.
We see a lot of that right now. I don't know if you are into sports in any type of capacity. One of my favorite teams that I had the pleasure to love over the last couple of years is the Sanders in Colorado Buffaloes. And they trying to do my quarterback in, and we are having a whole fight. I've been out. And so what they want him to do is streak. And people want you to streak so that you can be palatable to fit them. And you do not have to. Let me say that to somebody directly in this camera. You do not have to shrink to be more palatable for somebody. If you can't handle the capacity of what I carry, then it is not meant for you to be connected to me in that season. And that is okay. It is perfectly okay. Do not stop shrinking to make people feel comfortable. Stop dimming your light to let somebody else's shine. If we can't shine next to each other and you be okay in your gifts and I'm okay in my gifts, then that is not a me thing. That's a you thing. You gotta go figure that out. You gotta go figure that out for you, because you actually do God a disservice when you dumb yourself down in places you're supposed to speak up.
I know it's not just me. I know it's not just me, but I felt the literal wind of God come in and say, now listen, because I'm telling you, I called you for this. Like, I heard him when you said that. No man, no person can stop you who God called you to be. No one. Like, you just can't stop. So, Dr. Amy, for those out here who are, they've been, can I just, let's speak life. I can say it. They've been brainwashed. They've been taught a certain mindset, because you use the word mindset, and I'm very big on mindset, y'all. I'm very big on changing your mindset. How do you help someone navigate through that part? Because again, even though we're saying all these things, and I literally heard God say, listen, what about the ones who are right on the cusp? They're on the breakthrough. What would you say to them, especially with the mind shift?
Ooh, if you're on the verge, you're on the cusp, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a delicate space that you have to be very intentional about what you let in your ear gates, your eye gates, and your space. In that particular time, you can't eat from every table, and you have to monitor your appetites very closely. And when I say appetites, I'm talking about what you read, what you're watching, where you're going, who you're hanging out with, what kind of conversations you having. Because it's easy to fall back into old patterns that you've fought so hard to break. And so if you're on that crust, you better lean in. Again, I believe in coaches. I believe in mentors. Now, I do not believe it should cost you millions of dollars to talk to somebody for 1 hour. It depends on the level that you're at, though, because it's levels to everything. If you could afford it and you got it, then that's good. But you got to be real sensitive to the Holy Spirit during that time, because it's easy to fall back into old patterns. Let me tell you how that's biblical. Jesus had just died, and the disciples was together in a house, and Peter said these words. He said, I go fishing. I go fishing. And it said that when he went to go fish, he caught nothing, because he tried to go back to a place he had already let go. Do not find yourself trying to go back, because watch this. He caught nothing is in that text. That was the next line. He said, I go fishing. And it said that Peter caught nothing. And watch this, because nothing is where you're not going to get nothing going back. Don't spin the block for your old self when you've already graduated, when you've already lived past it. So how you get to the crust is you lean in right there, and you press a little harder into the things that you've been doing to get you to this space. You monitor your habits, you monitor what you're watching, you monitor your appetites, and also in that season, dominate your distractions. You have to dominate your distractions. When you're right at the edge and you can feel it and it's intensifying because you're getting ready to break through the ground, because y'all got to know the seed got to first, but before it's getting ready to poke its head, it's going to be a lot of tension and turmoil. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on because you're breaking through that terrain that you're not used to. That is the part where you dominate distractions. Monitor your appetites and cut off everything and anything that is not adding to the version of you that you see in front of you. I'll stop right there. I hope I'm answering y'all questions.
Dr. Amy, yikes. You know why I'm so excited about what you're saying? Because there's so many people feel like they owe someone an explanation. One of my friends, Angela Mitchell, she
have an anointed no. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, say it again.
No, I said have an anointed no. You don't owe nobody no. Get to a place where you ain't explaining nothing. I can't come. That's guilt, and that's the spirit of guilt. See, guilt will kick in right after somebody asks you something, And thank you, Holy Ghost. Not only is it guilt, but it's misplaced expectations, right? Like somebody called and asked you to borrow something from you, Miss Kizzy. And they say, well, man, I'm going through, and they believe that you have it to help. And you say no. See, guilt makes you feel like that was your responsibility. That's not your problem. It is their problem to figure out. It is their journey to go through. It is theirs. We'll take on stuff that does not belong to us, and we allow guilt to make us explain stuff we don't have to explain. I ain't explaining nothing. Now, there are people out of respect and position and authority. Now, there's times where I will explain, but then there's times where, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't have to tell you why. I'm not coming up with no excuse. I just didn't want to come. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You were talking about your friend. I apologize.
No. I'm telling you, I'm getting to that point because just because of my background and, the teachings that our parents instill, they almost gave us a disservice. I love my parents. I love them. They're probably watching. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. But they did. They gave us a little bit of a disservice by making us over explain and overcompensate, and it's like you have to do too much. Well, this is why I'm doing XYZ. Well, shh. I like what you just said. Give the anointed no. No is not a curse word. No is actually a very positive word. And over my years, it sets healthy boundaries. So my friend Angela Mitchell, she her name was Ezel when she told me that she's now married. But Angela Ezel. Of course, you know Angela from Clubhouse. But she's married now. So Angela, we were talking. And she made a statement because these people were pressing me. And I said, girl, I don't even know how to explain it to them. And she said one thing. She said, you owe them no explanation. I said, that's it. Done deal. I owe them. And look, let me tell y'all something. That mind shift, that mind change actually is liberating. It sets you free from always having to explain I don't have to explain myself. And I do agree with you, Dr. Amy. There is a reverence and respect for different authority figures in your life. But for the most part, if I don't want to do something, it's a hard no. Period. Even look, I heard someone say this, y'all. This is funny, but I heard someone say this. You can have a whole $1 million sitting in your pocket right now. Actually, Chanel is the one who said this. She taught this 2 weeks ago. You can have like a whole $1 million sitting there, but if somebody come and ask you, and you already dedicated that money for something else, you know what your response needs to be? I don't have it, and that's not a lie. I don't have it for you. Like I like how you put it, Dr. Amy. You said it's their responsibility to get out of whatever problem they're in. But if you already have your stuff, like in other words, y'all, I'm saying this in a kind, but not so, I'm not being passive. I'm just saying your emergency is not my problem.
Correct.
So if I can have my $1 million, but maybe I need that $1 million to go develop something else that God gave me. And if I start giving it to you, now I'm lacking. Your emergency is not my problem. Is that fair to say that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I believe that's going to set a whole lot of people set free. Oh, I like this. Monique pulled the scripture on us. Oh, no man, nothing but to love them. I like that scripture. Fabian said, I have to practice that. I find myself explaining to Fabian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's guilt that comes upon for that. You just gotta let it go. Like, hey, I said no, and that's that. I'm not giving you no explanation. The answer is no. And because the Bible says it like this, let your no be no and your yes be yes, and anything else is of the devil. So, hey, it's either no or yes. I could come or I can't come. And I don't have to explain it if it's either way. Like,
I really think that actually helps us move the needle towards more successful development, not only just in relationships, but personal growth. Because now I'm not in bondage, concern, like you said, releasing from the people, releasing from the labels. I'm putting two of your statements together, but just being released from people, being released from labels, being released from these things that we've put on ourselves. And now bursting forth for growth. I also agree with hold on, I'm sorry. I find myself teaching clients the power of no. Yeah, there is definitely a power in that no. Now, wait, this is good. Dr. Amy, Fabian said he didn't want to be misunderstood.
I was just responding to him too. When you're called, the chances are you're going to be misunderstood anyway. When you're confident, they're going to misunderstand it. They're going to translate it as arrogant. When you're boisterous in a church where everybody is mostly passive and yes men, and you speak up, you're going to be deemed problematic. So they're going to try to measure you, mute you, and misunderstand you. Jesus' assignment was misunderstood. So be okay with being misunderstood. you just got to get there. You just got to get to a place where I'm okay being misunderstood.
I hope they heard that. Come on, where my scribe at?
I had to literally get delivered from that, literally, really, because I remember that the breakup of my marriage, I was trying to convince them. I would like the ex had said some things that weren't quite true. He kind of took parts of a situation and kind of just he made this elaborate story that really wasn't the truth. And I find myself trying to defend me. And God said, why would you defend yourself with people who've already made up their mind about you? They've already made up who you are and who you not. So don't try to convince them otherwise. And that delivered me. And never again. I just see it like this. There's two types of people you're going to encounter, right? On any given day. Jesus encountered two people on the cross. This is strategy. I'm always listen for strategy, guys. There's people who want you to prove, and there's people that perceive, right? So the woman at the well said these words. She said, I perceive you are a prophet. Jesus didn't tell her that. She just perceived it, right? Potiphar's wife, she perceived. She said, that's a holy man. She perceived it. He didn't do anything. He didn't do no miracle in front of her or anything. Peter, he said, you are the Son of God. And he said, what? Flesh and blood didn't reveal this to you. So there's people that's going to perceive who you are, what you possess, and what you carry. And watch this. Based off how they perceive you will determine how they receive from you. And then there's the woman on the cross said, you don't deserve this. So when you die, like when on this day, can I go with you? Remember me. He asked him to remember me, right? He perceived who God was. Now the other one said, if you are the Son of God, put yourself down. He said to get us down here. He wanted you to prove who you were. And people that want you to prove who you are don't usually receive from you properly because they can't see who you are. And when you can't see me, you'll never perceive me. And when you can't perceive me, you can't receive from me properly. That's the reason why when Jesus went to Nazareth, they said, isn't that Jesus, the son of Nazareth? Isn't that Mary and Joseph's son? And what does it say in the text, Miss Kitty? He said, and he did little miracles there because they only saw him as the carpenter. They only saw him as Mary and Joseph's son. They didn't see him as the Messiah. They didn't see him as the one that heals. They didn't see the one that made the lame walk and the blind see, right? They didn't. So when people don't perceive you, Fabian, it's okay. Let them know that because you can't perceive from me will limit how you receive from me. And I don't, either you going to perceive me as Dr. Rucker and you're going to get all of this wisdom. You're going to get knowledge. You're going to get the best of me, right? You're going to get a level of pedigree that is greater than you thinking you just call me Amy because Amy is with the function. You don't want her.
Some speck on my name. I'm just joking. But no, seriously, that's a respect level right there. I love how did y'all just, sometimes, Dr. Amy, when you talk, I told you, I got to slow my thoughts down because you give those nuggets, but you also give strategy. And when you said the perceive, that's how they receive. I had to put my words together. The way they receive from you, I believe that sometimes we put our gifts in the wrong place. We expecting them. See, you said something very powerful. Jesus didn't do that. He's like, I ain't wasting my gifts.
Dust off your feet and keep going when they don't receive you. We started trying to prove, hey, you see me? Hey, do you see me? Can't you see I know how to prophesy? Can you see that I know how to preach? We've been rejected so much that we keep trying to get people to see us that will never see us. Man, dust your hands off and go. Take your gifts and go to the person that will be like, man, that girl's smart right there. Oh my gosh, that woman is talented. Oh my gosh, that woman is a powerful woman of God. Go over there. But no, we keep
Oh,
trying to give it to the people that keep rejecting us because there's a wound in us that have not been healed.
did y'all hear that? You ain't healed. That's why you're trying to get the approval of people who don't want you in the first place.
Right.
You
And
ain't
they
healed.
keep re-injuring you. So you stay hurt.
Oh,
And if the enemy can keep you hurt, you can't hear properly because healed people and hurt people hear totally different. Their lenses on life is different.
did I don't want to overlook that point. That was powerful. Heal people and hurt people hear differently. No, audience. I need y'all to hear that one more time. You think you may be hearing something, but you may be hearing it in the ears of a.
Isn't hurt. There you go. And you're gonna miss it every time. Because now you're offended. Now you feel threatened. Now you fallen out with people that were really there to help you. Because here, watch this. A healed person don't hear correction properly. They feel a threat. They feel disrespect. They feel offense. A healed person, I'm talking about a hurt person. I'm sorry, a hurt person here offense, and they feel disrespected, and they feel all of these things. But a healed person, they feel it as, oh, that's a critique for my good. So watch this. When God chases a person that's hurt, they get more hurt. But when God chases a person that's healed, they receive God chasing it a little different. They know that the chasing is because God love them, not because God hate them, not because God's mad at them, not because God is trying to punish them, not because all of that is wrong teaching about God, because they're not healed properly. Does this make sense?
When I tell you that make perfect sense, I'm sitting here just absorbing, reflecting, digesting.
So let me just throw a caveat. Let me just add a little piece in there for let's shift to the relationships. That's why relationships have issues, because there usually when infractions that happen in a relationship goes unchecked, then that person becomes hurt, and now they only hear through the ears of hurt. So they're not receiving what you're trying to give them properly. So when you critique them, they mad, they feel like it's an attack. So hurt people think everything is an attack. I hope this is helping somebody. Y'all add some people to this video. We should have 100 people on here.
We should have 100 people, because everybody I know in one way or another have dealt with different levels of exactly what you're speaking on. And our ultimate goal is, be everything God, like you said, becoming what God has created you to be. But in this journey that we take in life, we do encounter situations and life obstacles. And I love Dr. Amy said this in the beginning. She said, the word of the Lord said over 300 times, be encouraged, because you really do need to have something to keep pulling you forward, or you'll regress every step of the way. And even when you were talking about the ones who have the hurt, those wounds, if they're not healed, you're going to keep, how do you say it? There's a statement about the scars, but there's also a statement about a scar that's not healed. I can't remember, Dr. Amy, right off the head, but it's something about a scar that's not healed. Or is it a wound that's not healed? I can't get the thought. Y'all forgive me.
Probably a wound that's not healed, because a scar shows you that you survived.
So it's the wound. Thank you.
Right.
Yes,
So a
because
wound
Jesus
can
showed
have
the
a
scar,
scab on
right?
it, but a scar should be where it's healed.
Thank you. That's it. It's the scab and the thank you. See, I knew Dr. Amy you was gonna pull it. It's the scab versus the scar.
The
So
scar. Yes. Yes. And somebody poked that if you poke something that got a scab, it can still bleed. So yeah.
that is it.
Well,
And that's what happened. They'll put a band-aid on a gushing wound, it gives a scab, but it's not healed. And so the
right.
next person who come along, because you said that the next person come along, now they perceive everything from that area.
So when you're hurt, you're making people pay for stuff that they didn't even do. You're penalizing people that they didn't do. They didn't have nothing to do with what you're going through. That's why it's critical that you heal.
Y'all, did y'all hear that? It is critical before you take the next step tonight. I want y'all to understand that that is a powerful strategy. I don't want you to keep adding on the layers when you're already hurt, the wounds you're adding on to it, because you're going to be stagnant. If anything, this is my opinion, I don't think that you're going to be to your fullest potential if you don't heal those wounds. I
No.
mean,
So many people, Miss Kizzy, they serving hurt. They mad at the pastor. They mad at this leader. They mad at that leader. So they're serving hurt. And then when you serve hurt, you start sowing discord. You start translating people movements wrong. I seen a face expression. I seen this. No, you didn't. You're hurt. And you need to just go say why you hurt. And watch this. Identify the hurt. What type of hurt are you? Did they really do something to you? Or is your ego hurt because you felt a certain type of way? Or they didn't respond to you how you thought they should respond to you. And now you feel away. Like, we got to we got to grow up. We got to grow. Ready, set, grow. We got to grow, y'all. We got to grow. Like, grow.
That's a perfect segue.
We're going to have a grow group soon. So y'all make sure y'all part of them grow groups. We're growing our wealth. We're growing in our mental health. We're growing in our money. We're growing in our ministry. We are growing. Like, I'm going to do all things grow 2025. Like, I'm having a grow group. I'm having grow experience. I'm having grow all types of things. All things grow. Like, all things go.
Yo, I love that. I'm going to play Dr. Amy's video one more time. That's a perfect segue. If you are wondering what we're talking about with this all things grow, ready, set, grow, I'm going to show you this video. This is the latest devotional that Dr. Amy has put together. And also, she's going to come back and tell us a little bit more how we can connect with her.
Let me share something with you. Growth will always require a goodbye. Goodbye to your comfort zone. Goodbye to codependency. Goodbye to playing it small. Goodbye to carrying stuff that do not belong or is not yours to carry. We say we want growth. We pray to God for elevation. We even ask for God to enlarge our territories, but we refuse to release what's in our hand. You can't receive new strategies while clinging and clutching onto old systems. You can't walk fully into your purpose while still holding on to a bunch of past pain. Growth requires space. And listen, if you know you've been created for more, if you know you've been secretly suffering in silence, waiting to be picked while sitting on the sidelines, then I have something for you. Grab my new book, Ready, Set, Grow. Listen, a 31-day devotional, but this ain't no regular devotional. This is a divine disruption. Baby, this is your prophetic push. This is what you need. This is the number one devotional in 2025 for women. Grab yours. Yes.
Yes! Dr. Amy, that is so good. And did y'all hear the highlights? What we were talking about, I didn't even realize that was in the video. So hello, you get a complete healing, breakthrough, deliverance, all in this devotional. And I love the fact you said it's not no journal. This is a devotional with practical steps you can use every single day.
No, this ain't even like, even when I think about it being a devotional, I'm like, God, I don't know what you did with this one, but you did your big one with this one. He put a capital B on it. He was like, and it's gonna be big.
You know what I love about it though, and the information is here. You can copy it in the chat as well. I love the fact that you have not just a devotional, but now you have programs to go along with it, so you can actually hands-on teach along this journey. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh. God didn't give me a book. He said, this is not a book. This is a movement. And he said that you're going to go in and eradicate people that have been stuck. You're going to go eradicate bad behaviors. I'm sorry, y'all. My allergies is so crazy. So if y'all see me scratching, I'm literally trying to like, oh my gosh, allergies, like stop. Just to go in and create systems and give language to and to activate people. And he showed me 5 different type of women. He said that there is the broken, the burnt out builder, the stuck strategist, the small powerhouse. And he was showing me that. He said, Dr. Amy, you have spoken on stages all across the world, and you have ministered to tens of thousands of women. And when I look in their eyes, Miss Kizzy, a lot of them are sitting on the sidelines, stuck, silent, and because society have told them you need to be silent and submissive, that you are not supposed to be walking in your calling and your purpose. But what if Mary Magdalene never went to the tomb and ran and got the disciples? What if Mary never agreed to carry the Messiah? We have a place in what it is and a purpose for what God needs to do in his kingdom. And women all over the world need to be unlocked so that they can go do what it is that they are called to do. There is a people waiting for you, Moses. There is a people waiting for you, David, to show up. And we're talking about the types of people, right? We ain't talking about the person, the actual character in the Bible. We're talking about the spirit and the essence of what God is doing, the mantles. Women have those mantles too. You are called to a thing. There is a mandate on your life. There is a mission, a mandate, and a mantle that you are called to. And it's time to get in motion. It's time to get moving. We cannot delay anymore. And it only happens when you grow. The version you are now, say goodbye to her. Because that version of you, you can never be her again. And so these groups, I'm going to focus on helping women build their capital, their wealth, help them build their brand, help them build their legacy, because we have to start having legacy level conversations. Somebody write that down. Legacy level conversations. Because legacy level meaning blessed is the man who leave his children's children. That's just not one generation. That's at least two. I hope this is helping y'all. Somebody write that down. Everybody in the chat, write that down. Everybody in the chat, legacy level conversations, not lobby level, legacy level. It is time. Women, if you feel stuck, man, get into one of these. Just get the book. Just start there. The grow groups you can get as you go, you can, as I'm putting them out and I'm doing different things. I'll have virtual ones, I'll have in-person ones, and eventually I'm going to tour and do some in some different cities. And so I'm excited about a grow group. When have you heard about a grow group? Like, yeah, I got to join. I got to go. I'm on my grow group tonight. They're like, what do you mean a grow group? It's where I'm intentional, because growth is intentional. It doesn't just happen.
That is so good, Dr. Amy. I can't wait for the grow group. Whenever I see them, especially if I can come in person, I'm going to make sure I make my way there. And I admonish everyone here listening to go ahead and follow Dr. Amy on her social media platforms. Yes. As you can tell, just in this 1 hour time together, that you've given so much, so many nuggets, so many, I'm going to say some of the pain points that we may be dealing with. You gave solutions to them so that we can overcome them. And then go get the journal. Yes, well, it's a devotional. Excuse me. Go get the
It ain't
devotional.
no journal.
It's not a journal. This is
Now there is an area to write reflections, but this ain't no journal.
no journal.
It's not a journal.
Okay.
I actually got a workbook that's coming with it that'll be more journaling in that, but then this ain't it. This is, when I say this one, gonna snatch your soul to be like, dang, this girl. It's almost like one of my, because I had some people pre-read it, and one of the girls said, I would have thought you were sitting next to me writing the story of my life. She said, this is the book I didn't even know I needed.
I'm going to pull her words out and say, hey, everyone, this is the book you didn't even know you needed. So go ahead and get it because you need it. Go ahead and get it. And Dr. Amy has a special for you all. Yay. How do they get it?
So if you smash that link that she has up, like you screenshot it and go click it, copy and paste it into your website, or I think it might be in here somewhere. Maybe we can pin it. What'll happen is you can get the ebook version. It's not the actual hard copy or the paperback, but you can get the ebook version today for only $5. Like, and you would just put Speak Life as the code when you're checking out. The code is Speak Life, all caps, all together. Don't separate it. It's all caps, all together, and it'll give you the discount off of whatever the original price of the book was, so you can get it for $5. Listen, if you like to read on your phone, that's a book you need to have. Go ahead and grab it. And then make sure you take a picture and let me know that you're reading it and tag me to it, because I love to see. I want people to grow all over the world. This is a movement. This is not a moment. It's a movement.
Well, I'm getting both. I'm getting the ebook and I'm getting the hard copy, and I'm going to get a few for some of these people I know who need it. And they may be like, well, I don't know if I need it. Well, I'm going to get it for you. I'm going to get it for them on the ebook and make them buy their own hard copy. Because I believe that, like you just said, even if they don't know it, that they needed. There are practical steps in
Oh
this
yeah,
devotional that you
absolutely.
can do every day. Every day. And it doesn't matter what part of the journey they're in, right? They can, however they are, just go ahead and read the devotional and apply those practical steps. So yeah, I love that. And Doni, can you capture the code? It's speak life all, you said all one word, right? And they can
All
get
one word. Just speak life. All one word. All caps.
all right. I love it. I love it. Well, Dr. Amy, thank you so much for your time. You
Thank
do a
you.
lot. Let me show y'all real quick, because I mean, we didn't even scratch the surface.
We didn't. There was some stuff you shared that you were gonna ask that we didn't get to.
We didn't even get there. Like, it took a whole nother turn, but I believe what the Lord wanted us to speak, we spoke it. But before we close out, was there anything else you want to highlight and speak about? Because I'm going to let the floor be yours.
No, I think if I know where you were going, you're gonna talk about the business real quick. Is that go ahead? No, go for it.
Yes, I was going to talk about Dr. Amy has so many different just avenues that you can bring wealth and bring just your knowledge base. So this is one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Well, you go ahead and tell them about it.
Yes. So my 9-year-old, well, she's 13. She's about to be 13 now. So we've had a vending machine company for over 4 years. And so you could probably take the thing down now. Yeah, we had it for 4 years, and we started with her seeing it on TikTok, and she was like, "Hey, mom, can you invest in something? I have an idea that I want to do." And I was like, "Well, what is it?" And she said, "I want to start a vending machine company. I want to own a vending machine." And I told her to write me a proposal, and she did. She wrote it out, and I invested in her first. I gave her $3,000 to invest in her first vending machine, and of course, I helped her set it up. So she my boss, but the company's fully hers. She owns the rights to it, and it has been going well. We actually just got a new contract that we'll be filling in a few days. They're looking over the contract. They're going to get it back to us at some point. And we're excited. We're growing, we're expanding. And if anybody, listen, if you want to make passive income, something like vending machines is an easy start because we make money while we sleep. It works by itself. I don't have to do nothing but really fill it up. And I literally work 4 hours a week and make $4,000 a month from just.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. And you know what? It helps, like you said, build the legacy and teaching them. Your daughter is how old again?
She's 12 now.
Look at that, y'all.
Yeah.
Not even her teen.
It's really, she has I also have a ebook coming out that talks about how to hire your kids the right way. And then in my wealth book that's going to be coming out, it talks about how to make your kid a millionaire. And so, vending machines is a great way to expose them to financial literacy, to get them started with responsibility and get them in entrepreneurship very early. One of the things that I think the schools do as malpractice is they don't teach kids about money.
Not at all. That is so true. Not at all. But I love it. I love it. So that's one of the, I'm going to tell y'all, please, if you didn't hear anything in this room tonight, hear this. God has so much for us, and we've been sitting on it way too long. Either from our ignorance, maybe we just didn't know, or for our delays, procrastination, the uncertainties. Well, Dr. Amy has given solutions and has also provided resources to help us push to that next level. So make sure you stay connected with her. This is another one. I like this one. Sunday school. Dr. Amy, I got to catch you next week. I have to catch you. This week I was traveling, but I want to catch you. So tell me about how this came about, Sunday school.
As a young girl, I loved going to Sunday school. It was pivotal for the foundation of my faith. And it was where you learned about the patriarchs of the Bible. And so I think a lot of churches have eradicated Sunday school. And so a lot of the kids aren't getting that nutrition and it was a community. And so I love the idea of Sunday school. Y'all know I'm big on alliteration. So Sunday and school went together perfectly, even though it's a real thing in church anyway. But I wanted to just teach at the basic level. Like it's very profound still because the revelation that come from it is crazy. But the idea of learning about the characters, breaking it down, and it's only 30 minutes long, where people can still get a piece of God and grow at the same time. Because sometimes when you're at just church, you just go to church, you hear a good sermon, but you still don't really understand the scriptures.
Dr. Amy, that's very true. That's very true. I've been in churches. I'm like, wait, what did they just say? Because
Right.
I was more entertained.
Right.
Never mind. I'll keep my
It's
comments.
Sunday school, but it's more like college. It's
Yes,
Sunday school, but it's like, I definitely, you can go check some of those videos out on my page, watch some of the replays, because they really are full with a lot of great stuff.
I definitely will do that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, this has been so amazing. So don't forget, Dr. Amy is just so amazing. Ready, Set, Grow. Dr. Amy book release has already been released. It is found on Amazon.com. We pinned the comments. And don't forget, if you do the ebook tonight, put Speak Life in, all one word, and you'll get a discount. $5 for the ebook. Now, I'm a girl who like to write, so I'm going to have both. I'm going to have my ebook for when I'm out and about, but I like to write in my books, Dr. Amy. My books be all marked up. It's just
Right.
because I learn better when it's written down and I have the directions I need. So I'm getting both. And then I admonish you, buy one for your friend. Send this book out.
And Mother's Day coming.
Oh, come on. Mother's Day. Yes. Come on. Treat your mom right. Give her something that is meaningful and purpose, something better than just a candy boutique, something that can actually enhance her thought process and how she functions from day to day in this amazing devotional that God has given Dr. Amy. And don't forget, follow Dr. Amy. Hello, because we're going to have some growth clinics, some growth groups, some in-person growth, all of it. And I really believe God gave you something so strategic, because this is a time for growth. There's a time for everything. And I do
Right.
believe that if one of my last statements to this group tonight is, if you're not getting any information from what we're saying, you need to find out what it is that God put inside of you that needs to grow. If they're missing everything else, because we said a lot tonight, but don't miss the value of what God put inside of you. I love how you said it. That seed has to be planted in order for it to grow. Well, if you don't even know the seed is there, you're not going to plant it. You're going to miss it. So don't miss this, y'all. Pay attention. Get with Dr. Amy. Dr. Amy, you also do some other things on the side, right? If I'm not mistaken, you do some mentoring, or did you do mentoring in the past?
I do. I'm gonna do some more of it. I try to stay away from it as much as possible, but I do have people to be like, "Hey, I need coaching." I used to do coaching, but I every now and again, it depends on the projects that I'm doing.
Okay. I saw you do something with Dr. James Mozon with all of his books. I have several of his books, and I
Yes, I
saw
have
that
a
on
Purpose
there.
Academy. So basically, God has challenged me to help other women write and other men write devotionals and books. And so, yeah, I have an Arthur's Academy where I coach people through the process from the beginning to end and help them birth those books that they have on the inside. So, yeah.
Okay. Is that a group, or they just self-guided?
No. It's an actual group.
It is a
It's
group.
hands-on, step-by-step coaching. Like, it's live in person. Like, I show up every week and I'm there, like teaching, and there's assignments and homework. When I say it is, they are producing like crazy. I just had 5 or 6 graduates coming up that you'll see me posting about their books. All of them launched a devotional. All of them were women. So I had my last cohort was all women. And I'm so proud of those ladies. They did an amazing job and they birthed their books. And so all of them are authors. And so I'm excited.
That is amazing, Dr. Amy. I tell you what, you are just a wealth of resources. God
Thank
has put a
you.
fountain inside of you and you're letting it flow out. I love it. I love
Thank
that so
you.
much. Well, I'll let you have the final say before we close out.
Well, listen, if I could just say anything, is that God has given us all something. And it is up to us to do something with what he has given us. There was a story, a parable of the talents. And he said, I gave 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 5. It's not your job to compare what the other one has. It's your job to do what it is you're called to do with what you have to do with. We've all been given a measure. We've all been given a capacity. We've all been given a mandate. We've all been given a mission. But it is your job to fulfill that mission so that at the end of all of this, you can hear, job well done, my good and faithful servant. And so if you know that there's more in you, if you've been dying to release the ideas, like you got God ideas locked up on the inside of you, then I challenge you to get this book because it's going to be a game changer. And when you begin to read it, I need you to reach out to me and say, girl, you was talking to me. No. But thank you so much, Miss Kizzy. I appreciate you. It's an honor to be able to be on your platform and be able to pour into your people.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amy. When I tell you the value that you've added, myself, I know y'all were there, but really, I feel like a lot of what Dr. Amy was sharing, God said, here, open your ears so I can hear and receive as well. So I've received a value added to my life as well. And I will definitely be one to tag you and say, oh, she's talking to me on this day and this devotional. I can't wait. I'm telling y'all, starting tonight, as a matter of fact, because I have the ebook, I'm going to start there. And then we'll just keep on growing together. Ready, set, grow. Listen, y'all, attach yourself. Don't be coming here listening. One thing that bothers me is when people hear something and they're like, "I'll wait." No. Put the action step
Move
today.
now. Yeah.
Now, and go get
Yeah,
that
because
devotion.
that code, I'll tell you now, that code is only 24 hours. It'll expire tomorrow. So you gotta, again, y'all have heard me say urgency, move quickly, go grab it.
Go grab it now. Ready, set, grow. It's available on ebook and also order your hard copy. I believe you should have both. I saw several comments said that they did order and they'll be getting those. So thank y'all for those who have done so. Yes. And Monique, thank you so much for scribing. Don't forget, Dr. Amy said that she will definitely
Yes,
give.
Monique, inbox me so then I can have your information. And I'm gonna, if you want a paperback, I'll give you paperback, and if you just want digital, then I'll send you digital tonight.
Oh, that is so kind. Thank you. Thank you, Monique. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone who's been here tonight. Even if you're watching the replay, you know what? I'm going to tell y'all, get your pen, your pad, write down. You might want to go back and listen to this again. There were so many gems. When I tell you value added, just released out of Dr. Amy. Thank you so much for being so gracious to this audience. Speak Life with Kizzy B. We'll be back on next week. We'll have another special guest here, as they're all special in God's kingdom. God bless you all. Go with peace, power, love, and a sound mind. That is the portion that God has given us on this day and every day. Go with the power of the Christ. Don't forget, ready, set, grow. Go get your devotional on tonight. God bless you. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.